Good morrow and happy today. How you doing, man?
Happy today.
So, what did you get into this weekend?
I've been working non-stop on the road for the radio stations I work for.
Oh wow! You know what? I'm going to
And
turn
so
this down.
we've been doing these live broadcasts and remotes at various locations this weekend for a client. So again today, in just a few short hours after we're done with this recording, I will be back on the road traveling for another live broadcast today. So I'm a little road weary, but
Where
I'm
are you
traveling.
going?
Let's see, south of Seattle by about 40 minutes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So
Well, I'm heading up your way. I got the room, buddy.
Oh, right on. Fantastic. It'll be good. Hopefully the weather will be nice too. I think it should be.
Yeah, hopefully there won't be too much smoke and the weather will be nice. I don't care if the weather is rainy as long as it's not smoky.
Yeah, and it's surprising
Yeah.
we haven't had that. You know, it's funny just because as we got into the summer, I was like, wow, this has been a really great summer. We have not had the traditional Canadian forest fires that Canada provides for us every year. The traditional
they're
smoke
there.
But it just hasn't gotten as bad here. We haven't had we haven't had the.
Oh yeah, we've been getting it though.
Well, that's fine for you. Like I'm not worried about you. I'm worried about me. Screw you, Gerald, and your air quality. And I don't want to dox you. So, but wherever you're at, your air quality could.
Yeah. Well, today it's better.
You got the weather background there. What are you watching? The Weather Channel back there?
Yeah, it's Fox Weather Nation or something. It's free on Pluto, so that's what I usually watch in the morning to check. If I'm driving, I check the weather because if it's going to be raining, it's going to be busy, and I like to know the smoke forecast too. In the
I like to know the smoke forecast.
Yeah, that's a new thing they do, right? They do this.
Lots of smoke.
Yeah, smokecast. But yeah, let's have at it. Obviously, today's episode is called the Coinbase Problem. Before we get into it, I should thank our sponsors, everyone at Bitcoin Live, QntmExpeditions, Quantum Economics, and Shield Folio. Yes, the new swag box dropped for QntmExpeditions. So if you did invest at a certain level, you will be receiving those in the near future. So enjoy the free stuff. But yeah, let's talk about it. So obviously there's a lot of news to talk about this weekend. So I obviously picked the name of the episode prior to this weekend's events. But what is the Coinbase problem? And let's talk about it. So literally, they're, for the Bitcoin ETF, they hodl 9 out of the, I think it's like 13. They do custody for 9 of the 13 ETFs, and 9 out of the 10, I think, or 8 out of the 9 Ethereum ETFs. Guess who's doing the custody? Oh my gosh, Coinbase. Yes. So if you don't see an FTX 3.0 forming before our eyes, that's what is happening. Now, is that going to happen? I think that Coinbase's security is way better. So it's very, 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 very small probability, but it is still a probability and something we have to discuss, right? So that's the problem. I'm all, like I said in the last episode, I'm all for, making Ethereum more legitimate, because obviously if we're going to be using these dollar coins, USDC, USDT, we do have to legitimize the underlying asset that these things run on, right? So I understand that, but I just think that, the whole point of, Bitcoin and crypto in general is, self-custody. I know it makes it easier for a lot of the older people out there just to ape into the ETF, but in my opinion, you should be holding your Bitcoin, you should be holding your Ethereum and any other shit coins that you're into. But I just, again, as somebody who's a macro analyst and I see big pictures, this is alarming to me. Because it's going to be, we're not just talking about a couple of pennies here. We're talking about hundreds of billions of dollars of money.
Yeah, it is. It is a little scary when you think about all of that wealth being concentrated in one spot, and the potential for disaster is ripe. Again, I agree with your sentiments. I think that Coinbase probably, hopefully, has better security implemented, but yeah, it's a little worrying when you think about how much control they actually have.
Turn it
So
off my air conditioning.
that's okay. So
Yeah, it's not really that cold or hot.
I think really what I hope happens here by the end of the year, in conjunction with the election, is we get this Safe Banking Act passed, which seems to
Yeah.
have a lot of bipartisan support, which then I believe would in turn, at least it would take. I think what it does, it allows more opportunities for other folks to be in the field of custodying crypto, right? Allows banks to custody crypto, allows, like your traditional Bank of America, for example, or Wells Fargo, right? So your local branch of, you can walk into your local branch of Bank of America or Wells Fargo and be like, oh, guess what? I have some Bitcoin. And they'd be like, oh, great. You can give us that and we will hold that and secure that and we will give you a loan against that.
Yeah,
Right?
we'll give you some tether.
Exactly, or whatever
Yeah.
USDC. They'll give you the Fed coin, right? Um, so I really hope that there is an opportunity for more people to at least have other options to custody their crypto on an institutional level like that. I
Yeah.
agree. Always be smart, be safe, stack sats, auto self custody. That's kind of always been my mantra since 2017. But I do think that there should be other opportunities and other avenues for folks, especially when it comes to institutional grade custodial services, to use more than just one provider.
Yeah.
That's why Fidelity at
Exactly.
least said Fidelity was smart. They're like, no, we'll custody our own, right? So even though everybody is coming into the crypto space, they seem to forget rule number one: nacho keys. So yeah, it's very concerning. It's very alarming. Like you said, Jared, when there's that much concentrated in one spot, hopefully it's not going to be bad. You never know, though. It's better to be safe than sorry. I like my cat cup.
Oh
Look at
yeah.
that.
Love it.
Cat.
Love it.
My cat
You
cup.
just faded out for a second. But we're gonna jump to the big news this weekend. Obviously, former President Trump,
Who? Never
RFK
heard of him.
Jr. What's that?
Never heard of him.
Yeah, never heard of him.
No, no, the guy.
RFK Jr., Senator Lummis. There was a lot of politicians at this year's Bitcoin conference. But let's start with, I think, which was the better speech, which everyone kind of left the room for this speech, but I thought was the better one, in my opinion. But here is Senator Lummis. I think I have it queued up.
This is the solution. This is the answer. This is our Louisiana Purchase moment. Thank you, Bitcoin. This is the solution.
Oh, okay, that was
This
the
is
short
the
one. I thought I had the
answer.
longer
This
one
is
queued up.
our Louisiana.
So basically, if you didn't hear Senator Lummis's speech, it's something that me and a handful of people in the Bitcoin space have been saying for 4 or 5 years. It's time for America to start defending the dollar in the digital era, right? And that means, getting some ASIC miners and strapping them up to the network and start earning Bitcoin. And obviously, don't sell the stash we have. Like, I've been saying that since I found out we had Bitcoin in like 2019. I was like, we actually have some? And then I heard, oh, they're selling it. And then they did it again. And then they did it again. And then they did it again. And I was like, why? Ah, uh, but this time it looks like they're gonna press the pause button on this 200,000 stash that they're sitting on. I know they were supposed to have an auction the last couple, I could have sworn they were supposed to auction this stuff off right around when Germany was supposed to auction off theirs. And I just don't see that happening. So, I mean, that's a good thing. And that was the big, statement from Trump. And I think I might have that tab too.
Well, I think though, aren't there laws right now that prevent governments, especially like I think that's what we saw with Germany, is that, and I think the same is true with the U.S. So you'd have to do a little fact checking on me here, but the laws right now, the way they read, that the government, if you seize the asset, you cannot then turn that into an asset and put it on your balance sheet. You have to sell it and get rid of it, and then you could take the proceeds of that asset and then put that on the balance sheet. So whether it was they seized a house from El Chapo or Bitcoin from Ross Ulbricht, whatever, right? It's an asset that's been seized due to illegal activity. We cannot put that on the balance sheet because it's from an illegal activity, right? So they have to change that, or they have to get rid of that. So I think that's kind of from what
the gray area,
right? And so I think when Trump came out yesterday and made that, and I think that's smart, obviously, duh. But I think there might need to be a little bit of reworking in the legal, vernacular to make that possible. Again, I'm not a legal scholar. I know a lot of people think I am, and I kind of look like one. I've played one in some small productions in community theater. So, but yeah, that's yeah.
Again, I know, yeah, I see what you're saying, and I understand that. I just think, it is time for the US to literally start understanding why this asset is important. And the first way you do that is to buy some and hodl it, and understand how to hodl safely and long term, because people think hodling is easy. It's like, no, it ain't.
That's what hang on for dear life. It's actually very hard.
Yes, it is. It is hard. But I do have that Trump clip pulled up. I'm gonna
hit
play on that one right now.
Hit it.
Boom.
The moment I'm sworn in, the persecution stops and the weaponization ends against your industry. And as long as I'm in the Oval Office, Elizabeth Warren, Pocahontas, do you remember? Yes, I'm an Indian. Yes, she said, I'm an Indian. Why are you an Indian? You don't look like an Indian. No, my mother told me I have high cheekbones. Oh, that's why she was an Indian. So I named her Pocahontas. Elizabeth Warren and her goons, and she's very nasty to you. She hates your people. She hates everything about you. Will keep their hands off Bitcoin. They're going to keep their hands off crypto. They're going to let it grow. We're going to let it grow. On day one, I will fire Gary Gensler and appoint a new SEC chairman.
Again, this guy knows how to play a crowd.
Yeah, he does.
And look, he stopped. This is amazing how
I didn't know he was that unpopular.
Oh yeah, he's unpopular.
Oh yeah.
Nobody likes him. I like him about as much as I like you.
Wow. I didn't know he was that unpopular. Let me say it again. On day one, I will fire Gary Gensler.
Dude, he plays crowd like a fiddle. That's why he's so good. Again, you can love him or hate him. He knows how to play a crowd.
He's a showman, man. He is a consummate showman. There's no doubt about that. He's
the new Barnum, PT Barnum for sure. Again, he's not the only one saying this. There's now rumblings out there that there is a cadre working for the Harris team that supposedly wants to turn tail away from the Biden administration's, rhetoric.
Yes, there were 27 Democrats that signed a letter. It was a majority of them all. And who was it? I don't have it up in front of me, but the co-author of the Warren bill actually pulled out of the bill saying, yeah, we're not in favor of this. So now 27 Democrats have joined this bill saying, hold on, time out. We want to be crypto friendly, basically. So yeah, it's kind of comical
because they're seeing how much money's coming into the coffers.
It's pretty comical to watch.
Yeah. But again, I said this I mean, how many times did I tweet Elizabeth Warren? Oh, by the way, I haven't shared this on the show. I've actually called the Biden White House 3, 4, 5 times to say, you need to adopt Bitcoin standard or you're going to lose the next election. Oh, surprise. He's not running now. Shocker. But yeah, maybe you should have listened to me when I called but no, they, what do? They just write you off because they think, we're crazy people. Yeah, you thought we were crazy people until the Winklevoss twins invested like 50 mil into Donald Trump's coffers. And now all of a sudden you guys want to pay attention. Shocker.
Looks like I think Nick had the clip from Dennis Porter up there. Was that the one with the 27 Democrats that have signed off on this?
I think so.
I'm trying to read the
Am
comments.
I still coming through?
Yeah.
Okay, because my little backup camera is like not moving, or my backup monitor and the app is frozen. Yeah, go ahead and play it. Yeah, definitely. Go ahead.
Democrats have officially co-authored a letter pushing the DNC, asking the DNC that we need to start putting Bitcoin and digital assets in our party platform. This comes right on the backs of the GOP adding Bitcoin and digital assets to their party platform. And so now we see the left and Democrats reacting. Those who have been quietly supporting Bitcoin can be quiet no longer. 27 Democrats who we should all be praising for their leadership on this letter have asked the DNC to include Bitcoin and digital assets in the party platform. But they did not just stop there. They also said that we need to select a vice president candidate who understands this technology and who can be a champion for Bitcoin in the White House. Additionally, they asked that the DNC push for a pro-crypto, pro-Bitcoin SEC chair. Many on the right, many in the middle, I think, have blamed the Democrats for Gary Gensler, rightfully so. Gary has been a incredible tool to suppress and limit the ability for innovation to take place here in the United States with regards to Bitcoin. And so it's by no surprise that the DNC, or those 27 Democrats, are pushing the DNC to get rid of Gary and find someone else who can come in to be able to help support this industry. And the last request that they made in this letter, these 27 Democrats asked the DNC and party leaders and members of Congress to start engaging industry experts that understand the technology and who truly want to ensure that America is a leader on Bitcoin. This is a critical part of the policy process. You cannot regulate an industry. You cannot pass laws about an industry effectively without understanding how that technology works. And there is no one who understands Bitcoin better than those that are working in this industry. So I applaud that effort. I think that even though it's on the bottom of their list, I think this is one of the most important parts. There has been so many Democrats who have said, we are not even going to meet with industry leaders. And that has left them lacking real true knowledge and understanding of this technology. So not only are they going to be pushing the DNC to put this in the party platform, not only are they going to be pushing for a vice president that supports Bitcoin, not only are they going to be trying to ensure that an SEC chair is pro-crypto and pro-Bitcoin, they're also going to be pushing the party and those within Congress and those that are in the party itself, like the officials, to actually meet with these industry leaders and industry experts. This is a crucial moment in America's history. We can choose to lead on this technology together, or we can choose to fight each other. Well, many of you know that I have been fighting to keep Bitcoin bipartisan here in the United States for many years. It's a nonpartisan technology, and ultimately, in order for us to be able to be a leader, we need to ensure that both sides are pushing for Bitcoin. Now, of course, once both sides are pushing for Bitcoin, we'll disagree on how to move forward on Bitcoin. But right now, we're stuck disagreeing on whether or not we should Bitcoin, when we should be disagreeing on how we should be doing Bitcoin. So I'm very encouraged by these 27 Democrats who had the courage and who are now leading their party on pushing for them to be able to show that they're not against Bitcoin, that in fact that they can very much be pro-Bitcoin. So I look forward to meeting with these members of Congress and party officials who are asking to meet with industry experts. And I look forward to being able to see the United States be the absolute best place in the world for Bitcoin.
Agreed.
Yeah. And that was Senator Robert Marshall. I just had to do a little fact checking on that. It was the Warren Marshall bill that was put forward. And again, Roger Marshall withdrawing his co-sponsor for the anti-crypto bill he co-created with Elizabeth Warren in 2022. So when you're the co-author of the bill, and then all of a sudden you're like,
you're backing out.
Not so much. You know, what does that
Yeah.
say? The chances of that bill getting any more traction and moving forward in the political system seems all but none.
Yeah, correct. And Kamala decided not to speak. It's probably a smart move, since she would have sounded probably dumber than Trump did.
He would just
overall.
unburden what has been
Undone.
by becoming what has been unburdened.
Yeah. What?
Like, did you fall out of a coconut tree? Hello.
Yeah, that's her line.
Yeah. So I'm glad she wasn't unburdened by what has been, so she could stay in the
Undone.
coconut tree. So that
Yeah.
was a good thing. Yeah. Yeah.
But getting back to Senator Lummis, we don't have to worry about promises from presidential candidates, right? We have a senator now putting forth an actual Bitcoin strategic reserve bill, right? This is the big news, and nobody really saw that speech, which is funny. If you go to Normie World, I kid you not, in Normie World, this was the big story yesterday. Let me pull it up. Come on. Let me cue it up, because it'll be even better if I cue it up. There we go. Share this tab instead. And then, this was the big story yesterday. Oh, Robert Downey Jr. is the bad guy now. Okay, great. Who gives a shit? Literally, we're talking about changing the world here.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me? Check 1, check 2. I'm seeing it on the screen.
How did I not?
Okay.
I'm not getting any audio. I can't hear him.
Okay, you can't hear me, but he can hear you and me. So I don't know what's going on in your end.
That's weird. But you can hear me right now, though, huh? You can hear me right now? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me, Jer. Put up a big thumbs up. Now Jerry looks frozen. Uh-oh. It says technical issue. It says technical issue right there on the screen, right there. I don't know if you can see it right down there. It said across the bottom. It said technical issue. Yeah. I don't know.
Check 1, check 2.
Now I hear you.
Okay, we're back. Awesome.
We had a technical issue.
Yeah, it happens. It's the interwebs. I mean, oh yeah, we didn't talk about that one either. How funny is I've been talking about cyber disjunctification, now update syndrome, right? We talked about this several times on the show, and then what happens last week?
Never once, Gerald. You never once mentioned it. I don't know what you're talking about.
But yeah, CrowdStrike doesn't put out one update, and what happens? Oh my gosh, blue screen to death. Holy moly. Surprise. Right again. Shocker. But But yeah, this is just proving my point is why we need Bitcoin, right? This is another reason we need Bitcoin. This slows down, right? Bitcoin is the harbor, right? In the foggy, in the foggy harbor. It's the lighthouse in the foggy harbor, and it's also the anchor to the ship, right? It slows the web 2.0 down, right? Where if we want to make a big change, right, in Bitcoin, we do have to get consensus throughout the network. We just can't say, oh, we're doing this, oh, we're doing that, oh, we're doing this, oh, we're doing that, like Apple and Google do every 5 minutes, right? It's very annoying. It's also poor for customer service and customer engagement, customer satisfaction. Hello, FB, Insta. Oh, are you listening? But yeah, these are also big problems with the Web 2.0, right? We have so many updates, and then you go to use this application that you use once every quarter, like Uber or something, and oh, I don't know how to use it. So then what happens? You go, oh, I won't use it. So Uber, you just lost money because you like to update all the time. A customer just told me this story, by the way. So again, Bitcoin again slows this process down, right? It is people think its slowness is a bug. No, it is a feature. Satoshi was a super duper genius. Facts. Right? Let's see what else we got on the agenda for the day. Oh yeah, this one, oh my gosh, yeah, we got to share this one. So let's talk about this, okay? Let's talk about this. So this young lady here stole 120,000 Bitcoin. Now, obviously, this calculation is going to be a little different today than it was in 2016, but just for shits and giggles, let's calculate the amount of money. Siri, what's 120,000 times 68,000?
Well, it's funny because my Siri just went on when you said that.
160 million.
Yeah, it's only $8 billion she stole. 8 billion. Really? So again, this young lady gets no prison time for stealing $8 billion, but Ross Ulbricht is still in prison for running an illegal website. Okay, clown world. We're still living in the clown world. Oh, yeah, if you saw the Olympic Games, clown world, the opening ceremony, clown world, and they apologize, say, oh, we're sorry if we offended any Christians. Yeah, you did. This just in, you did. And I hashtag duh. You guys are such ass clowns. Like, and they hide behind it again. It's art. It's art. Yeah, dude, Leonardo da Vinci, you pick any of the greats from the Renaissance, they would have spat on that shit. The end. Even Picasso, modern day genius of an artist, would have spit on that crap. Even Modigliani, who was even more open-minded, would be like, what is this garbage? And people say that, oh, again, all the people defending it, go look at the Beijing Olympic opening games. Go look at the Moscow opening games. Go look at the Atlanta opening games. Go look at the Athens opening games. You see anything close to that bullshit? No, you didn't at all. You got the WEF all up in your shit telling you this is normal crap. It's not normal crap. It's crap. The end. Sorry. I'm getting extra spicy today.
I love it. Extra spicy Jer. I love extra spicy Jer. I just sit back and watch you go, dude. I love it.
Again, we're living in clown world. Again, this girl steals $8 billion and is not in prison. If I stole $8 billion, I'd be in prison for 30 fucking years. Guaranteed. Full stop. She steals $8 billion, slap on the wrist. She was at the Bitcoin conference, I heard. Rumor has it.
Stealing more Bitcoins? Was that what she was doing?
Probably.
Yeah,
Wouldn't be surprised. Really, most of these people are stupid, right? You've seen those videos where they can get people's passwords right out of their shit. Oh, what's your password? Oh, I don't want to share you. Well, well, what's your again? Then they ask you like questions. Oh, what's your pet's name? Right?
Yeah.
Where'd you graduate from high school? Right?
What's your mother's maiden name?
Exactly. And then bloop, 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 bloop. And again, she does this similar kind of shit when you're having drinks. And next thing you know, she's got her voice recorder on in her pocket, and she's got all of those questions answered. And half an hour later, she's on her computer trying to get into every one of your systems. This is why, tip of the day, 2-factor authentication on all your shit. You're welcome. I'll tell you something. My friend's shit got hacked. Binance got her Binance account got hacked in 18 or 19. And literally they tried to get all of her Bitcoin out. They liquidated all of her shit. They were allowed to liquidate all her shit. They liquidated it into Bitcoin. They tried to get the Bitcoin out. She had her 2FA on. They couldn't exit the Bitcoin out of the Binance. Ha ha ha. Fuck you, scammers. So yeah.
Scammers scam.
Yeah, dude. Make sure you have your Google Authenticator or whatever authenticator you're using set up. I like Google because now they made it transferable from device to device, which is really easy. So it makes it way less complicated, right? If you get a new phone, it's really simple to just add the Google Authenticator on the new device. You click new device. I think you got to authorize it, with like a text or something like that, or a QR code. And boom, you have your authenticator set up on your new device. It used to be, just like your crypto stuff. If you don't have the keys, it's staying on that device, right? But yeah, please be using 2-factor authentication. It literally saved her from losing $30,000, right? Like,
even though she's a scammer.
No, I'm saying she's not a scammer. I'm saying
I thought
she got scammed by somebody on Telegram. Yeah, she got scammed by somebody on Telegram, and they tried to steal all of her stuff off of Binance. But since she had 2FA on, they couldn't exit the Bitcoin.
Well, so in a way, it's kind of we don't. It's kind of weird because like we're cheering because she didn't get scammed, even though she's a scammer. I feel like the better ending of the story would have been like she's a scammer and then somebody scammed her and she got ripped off. So how do you like that? Scammer got scammed. See, that would be better, but I feel like we're cheering for the villain in this. It doesn't feel, this is not a feel-good story, Jer. I'm not giving.
Well, I'm cheering for security. Here. I'm cheering for cybersecurity save the day, right? That's what I'm cheering
for. I get that. Yay for cybersecurity. Cybersecurity gets a win. 2FA gets a win. But when scammers don't get scammed by other scammers, that's, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm gonna have to.
I'm just saying the point of the whole moral to the story is turn on your 2-factor authentication.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, I can go with that. Yeah, okay.
We don't want you losing your corn, right?
Yeah, no.
Because it can happen.
And Russell Brand lost 1,000. Did you know that? He lost over 1,000.
Don't be like Russell.
1,000 Bitcoin and he lost it. Like,
yeah, and don't keep your Bitcoin on exchanges, right? That's the other thing, right? Like, don't keep your corn on exchanges. Take it off when you buy a certain amount, whether it's Cash App, Coinbase, Binance, one of the 20 million other exchanges out there. Get it off as soon as you can and put it in your own wallet ASAP, please and thank you.
Yeah, I'm just reading in Loop here. I'm just reading from Jameson Loop here on the app that Heather Morgan, aka Razzlekhan, seen in Nashville. He says that she's been at multiple Bitcoin events over the past year. Extremely suspicious she is still walking free and hasn't been sentenced for her crimes.
Correct. Yeah. Sounds like she got flipped, which wouldn't be surprising because she's walking free. Surprise.
Bitcoin conferences after you're a known scammer and a thief.
Yeah. Like total, again, mind-boggling that she's still allowed to walk and Ross Ulbricht is in prison for running an illegal
Can I just
website.
say that is some messed up shit? That is some straight up messed up shit right there, man.
100,000%, brother.
That is just some messed up shit.
Also shows you that there is bias
Oh my
in the
God.
justice system towards men and women still. So if you really want equal rights, ladies, you're going to have to start paying equal time. Because again, any one of us, if MattySats did this, if I did this, if Nick did this, any one of my male friends between the ages of 18 to 65 did this, you're going to jail for 20 to life, literally. Like, and you might get out in 15 because it's, you know, a cyber crime. But Ross Ulbricht's been in prison now for what, almost 10 years? Is it 10 years?
Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane. The guy's serving more time than certain rapists and murderers in this country. Like, really? What, again, this insanity has to stop. He needs to be let out like a couple of years ago, like 5 years ago, he needed to be let out. And again, this lady is running around free, and she and her you know, partner stole $8 billion worth of Bitcoin, 120,000 Bitcoin, and gets to roam around free, whatever. Again, America,
and who has do we know who has control of those keys right now for that that amount of Bitcoin?
I thought it was the government. Yeah.
So that's part of the 200,000 that Trump was referencing yesterday, or who actually has access? Okay.
I believe so.
Wow. Thank you, Razzlekhan, the U.S. government.
Yeah, well, if they do accrue those in onto the you know, if they move them onto the balance sheet, then yes, thank you, Razzlekhan, for making our Bitcoin.
Yeah, that's probably why she's not in jail. Guess what? She's got a new job working for the government.
Yeah, stealing Bitcoin.
Secretary of Treasury. Hey, sometimes we come up with some good stuff. I don't know.
That was a good one, brother. That was a good
one.
But yeah, speaking of Secretary of Treasury, the rumors. Now, I don't know if you heard
a bunch of crap last week, wasn't it?
Well, there was a bunch of crap last week, but this week it's even better, right? So RFK, you know who if RFK said he would nominate?
Who?
Caitlin Long.
That's that. Oh yes, that was in their interview, wasn't it? Yeah, that would be great.
And someone said, I don't know who it was, Senator Lummis, but I think Senator Lummis.
Yeah, I saw Senator Lummis's name being mentioned.
But Senator Lummis. Oh shit! I just lost my train of thought. Are we still running? Because it says connection lost.
It was, but now I lost you. Now it says you're lost. Gerald's gone. It says Gerald's gone. Well, we knew he never was really here anyways to begin with. I mean, that's part of why we love him, and that's part of his charm that makes him so endearing, is sometimes he's never really here with us fully. But that's why, you know, he's so great at what he does, as being the crypto oracle, because you can't really be here fully committed all the time. You have to be here and partly there. And now I think he's probably back. Is he here? Where is he? Where'd he go? I'm looking. Where did Gerald go? Do we know? Is he up there? Gerald, are you up there? Gerald? No, he's not up there. Where did he go? Gerald, are you over here? Gerald? No. Gerald, where'd you go? Are you Gerald? I don't know. We're not sure where he went. You know, I don't know. So am I supposed to just carry this by myself now? What am I supposed to talk about? I don't have spicy takes like Gerald. I'm just a dork at a radio station, plays country songs and sells 20 ribeyes for $40 at live remotes on the weekend. Oh yeah, that's some Bitcoin mining right there. Yeah, you could do that. I can't hear anything. I don't even know if this is live or if we're on the air. I'm just gonna sit here and talk and just share some thoughts with you, because what the hell? Yeah, Bitcoin mining is great. It needs to be done for America. It needs to be done to save the dollar. It needs to be done because it's just smart. Yeah. I don't know what happened to Gerald. Do we know? Is he coming back? I got to carry the show by myself for the rest of the show. That's going to be boring. I can't just sit here and talk by myself. What am I just going to sit here and talk about Bitcoin mining for the next 10 minutes by myself? Like, hey, look at me talk about Bitcoin mining. Nobody wants to watch me in my bedroom talk about Bitcoin mining. What they want to know is they want to know how they can make money on Bitcoin. That's what people want to know. Like, hey, dude, if I got like $1,000, how can I turn that $1,000 into $10,000? That's what people want to know. They don't want to see some dude in their bedroom going, hey, man. So I don't know. But I will tell you this, if you want to buy Bitcoin mining, it's a great opportunity.
I'm trying to get Gerald back.
Oh, are we actually live? I didn't even know if we're live. I'm just sitting here.
No, we're still live. We're still live.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah.
Are we still live right now? Are we live right now, or is this? Are we off the air now?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, sorry, my head.
What happened? I don't know what's
I'm gonna
going
jump
on.
out.
I don't even.
Yeah.
Are we live? Are we? What is? I don't even know. I feel like I'm in an episode of The Twilight Zone meets Black Mirror meets like some other crazy Netflix dystopian show. What the hell is going on?
Oh, crappy internet, and I don't have my Ethernet cable. Unfortunately, my new Poochie blew. He ate my big long Ethernet cable. So
yeah, well, again, just shows you why the ETH network is unstable. Why you should always go with Bitcoin. ETH is not stable.
And dogs like to eat ETH. Clearly,
Yeah. Dogs don't eat Bitcoin, though, do they? You never heard of a dog eating Bitcoin?
Nope.
You know
They
what?
can eat dollars though. They eat dollars all the time.
All right.
Oh, there. Yeah, share that. Share that for sure.
I wasn't sure what was going on. I thought you left me and I got to sit here by myself in my bedroom for like the next 20 minutes and do this by myself. Like, what am I going to say? I have no spicy takes.
There was a couple other things I wanted to share. Obviously, it's a little difficult when I have my phone now, but the other big speech, that's what I wanted to bring up. And there's the swag boxes from QntmExpeditions. Like I said, if you did invest at certain levels, one level you get the hat, one level you get the t-shirt. And obviously, if you're the high-end level, which I think was 10K, you get the whole box full of everything. But the other big story was the Snowden story. Obviously, he had to do, he had to do a teleconference for obvious reasons. But the big story there was that Snowden said, "We are winning. Bitcoin is winning." And this is a fact. You have one of the lead cyber security analysts in the world saying that Bitcoin is winning. That's a good thing. That's probably the best thing that came from this weekend is that so Snowden making this point very clear.
Yeah, very clear.
But yeah, so I mean, we're going into new, we have crossed the Rubicon, right? We are going into new territory. This is good and bad, right? Like I've been saying, and I said on the show yesterday, and I said on our show many episodes back that this is a price attack. This is a price attack from BlackRock, right? They're trying to inflate the price to such a level. There it is. Pull it up. Thank you so much.
You are watching this either live on stage because you registered through a smartphone, through a laptop, right? Nobody went and sort of bought a ticket at the counter anymore. That's not how the world works these days. But in order to even set that computer up, to turn it on, to log in, to set up your account, to pull the smartphone out of the box, charge it, open it up, connect it to your Wi-Fi access point, you have to click OK to continue. You have to agree to somebody else's terms of service. You are made to pass through gates of permission that are owned and controlled by others that do not answer, frankly, to anybody. You see Facebook, you see Google, you see how they've been abusing the trust of everyone in every country, right? You see the EU tries to get a handle on them. They're completely ignored. There was the GDPR, right? General Data Protection Regime or regulation that was supposed to fix all of these problems. And it didn't work. They say, oh, we'll fine you, 4% of global revenue or whatever if you break the rules. That hasn't happened. And it's been years and years and years. Whether we're talking about governments, whether we're talking about corporations, we're talking about the same thing. We're talking about the systemization of technologies that are designed to order our lives to the benefit of the institutions. They are trying to organize us to benefit them.
Yeah. And again, Bitcoin fixes this, right? It takes away the corruption. It takes away their any politician's secret agendas, and it doesn't eliminate crime to zero. It doesn't eliminate corruption to zero, but it greatly reduces these things, right? It doesn't bring spam servers to zero, but it will greatly reduce these things, and that's why it is vital that this conversation is being had and it's being seriously discussed now that Bitcoin is the hardest asset in the world, right? I shared a tweet last night from the conference of a guy showing people how to set up a actual ham radio node, right? And you can send Bitcoin right through it. Once a mesh net is set up, right? And here's something we never talked about on the show, right? This isn't conspiracy theory. These are facts, right? So Google and Apple already have these mesh nets already set up, right? They use them all the time to ping your phone, to check your maps, to check for when there's errors in the operating system, and they always use them, but they don't turn them on for us because the telecom companies make billions and billions of dollars off of us and their cell phone towers, right? But it is my opinion that these mesh nets eventually have to be activated. We do have to go off, deactivate cell phone towers for a myriad of reasons, but it is of national security importance that these mesh nets at least be able to be activated during emergency scenarios, which they obviously can do that too, right? When you get those messages, right, this Amber Alert, how do you think they do that? Mesh net, right, through all of our phones, right? Even if there was no cell towers, they could send and emergency alert, boom, to all of our phones. Well, that needs to be a thing. Obviously, like I said, the cell phone companies would not like that because they would lose their sacred cow revenue stream. However, these things exist and they need to be opened up, right? And the more open source we become, the safer the web becomes, right? Because all of these gates that Snowden just spoke of, that's what his point was. When you use Bitcoin, you don't have to get anyone's permission, right? And that's the beauty of Bitcoin and Litecoin and any type of actual proof of work crypto, where if I want to send MattySats $100 of Bitcoin or Litecoin, nobody can stop that transaction, right? But if I want to send him, let's say 10,000 to his Zelle account, trust me, the banks are all going to have a lot to say about that real quick. But if I wanted to send him 10K in Litecoin or Bitcoin, it's in his wallet in like 10 to 20 minutes, no questions asked. And that's
showed up, Jer. It just showed up.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, by the way. Got that. It just showed up. Lightning Network does work pretty fast. There you go.
Again,
proof of that. That's called proof of work right there. See?
And
proof of work.
A perfect segue into another topic. So just the other day, when we were talking about OpCat last week, we were talking about the potentiality to, have a really complete layer 2. And somehow I just read the article the other day, but a team did zero knowledge proof on Bitcoin without OpCat, and I don't know how they did it, but this is a big deal. Yeah, Exactly. So the whole thing that we could put roll-ups on Bitcoin, as we kind of hinted at in the show, yes, this could happen. So again, exactly. Bitcoin, like I said, I tell people, right? Quote me on this. Everyone, please quote me on this. I've been studying Bitcoin and Ethereum for 8+ years now, right?
Wow, that's a long time.
It is. The more I study Ethereum, the more problems I find. The more I study Bitcoin, the more solutions I find.
Yeah, that's a great tweet. You should send that out right now. Max Kaiser would probably jump on that.
Yeah, I have tweeted that out. I will do it again because you're
okay.
right. I gotta.
I'll give it a like and retweet.
Excellent. Thank you so much, sir. But let's see if we did talk about Snowden. Let's see if there's anything else. Oh yeah, there was another one. A guy named Eric Stacks. You probably see him. He goes to a lot of conferences. He's a pretty renowned Bitcoiner. He grows pot, but he's he's literally at the Bitcoin conference. And he sees the two trucks out front for the new Trump coin. It's not Trump. I don't know what the name of it is. I don't think it's MAGA or Trump. I don't know the name of the coin. But he's like, it looks like Trumpy's gonna dumpy on you. He's like, stay away from this bullshit. And I was like, yes, please don't buy these kinds of coins. Like, I don't know who has to warn you about this. But the billboard starts out, did you miss Bitcoin? Buy this shit coin. No, don't do that. Again, these are the pitfalls of the industry.
Yeah, let's be honest here. Let's be honest. Anytime it's a celebrity token, it's a shitcoin. There's no celebrity token of any value of any kind, and there never will be any celebrity token of any value of any kind. It's all going to freaking zero.
Exactly. Period. And thank you for bringing that up. I just read an article last night. All the Solana celebrity tokens that came out, almost every single one of them's down 70+%.
Yeah, I saw that.
That are like 30% down, but the majority of them are 70% down. And MattySats is correct. They are trending towards zero. So yeah, don't buy that crap. If you're gonna get into meme coins, get into a meme coin because it's got the meme behind it, and even though that's jack and shit compared to the other shit coins, it still has something cute, right? It's cute, and people want to buy the Beanie Baby of the month, right? But once it pumps, right, like, remember this, it's a meme coin. Once it hits that Valhalla moment, it's going to come down off of literally the Himalayan top that it just hit. Right, there's an other side to that mountain. Don't think it's ever going to back to Valhalla again like Bitcoin. There's only a couple cryptos that do that, maybe 4 or 5, and the top, what is there, like 20,000 of them? There's 4 or 5 that hit all new time highs. Everything else, nope.
So we have not seen, and I put an article out earlier in the week on the app, the Bitcoin conference and the Bitcoin pump. Historically, have we seen a pump during the Bitcoin conference as a result of the Bitcoin conference? And again, price movement and price indication shows that no, there is no Bitcoin pump during the Bitcoin conference. Actually, when you just look over the last 2 weeks, I'm just looking at the data, there was more of a Bitcoin pump 2 weeks ago after Trump was the attempted assassination than his speech. So what does that mean? When you put that in perspective, put on your macro analyst hat, Jer, when you look at historically at the Bitcoin conference and the lack of a Bitcoin pump, does that mean anything or does it not? And what are your thoughts on that?
So, I mean, when his speech was starting, we could see some selling going on because I just think, we always have to take in consideration that Bitcoin is the only really free market in the world, in my opinion, right? So there's always going to be orders set that, they hit that price. I think it was right around, it was at 64 when it started to go down to 63. I'm not 100%, but it went down like 800 to a K when his speech started. However, within about 20 minutes of his speech ending, and within, I would say, 5 to 10 minutes of Senator Lummis's speech, when she announced the strategic reserve bill, we saw a kind of really quick reversal on that trend. We started seeing Bitcoin actually go from, I think it was, I want to say 63 or 64, right back up into, it hit 68 or really close to 69. So I think the sentiment is all over the place. But we have to pay attention to is the main metrics that matter, in my opinion, right? So I just shared a tweet the other day. Me and the hash rate, we almost hit 900 exahashes, right? We hit 879 exahashes. So my theory of us hitting a zettahash this year is still in play. We got very close about a week ago, right? I think it was July 23rd, 879 exahashes. And we should see some movement from all of this activity, right? I would say the first week of August, maybe the second week of August. Hopefully we break through the new all-time high. That's what I see happening. There's just too much at play now, right? We have literally BlackRock has hundreds of thousands of Bitcoin, Fidelity, MicroStrategy, hundreds of thousands of Bitcoin. These institutions are not just buying 10 Bitcoin, right? They're stacking hard. And at some point, the levee's going to break, right? And when the shorts and the longs all get whacked, what you want to look for when it really does go to make this either, a big candle, a daily huge candle, or the omega candle that everyone's looking for, is you want to see the longs and the shorts get whacked in a fairly short time frame, right? You want to see the longs get whacked and the shorts get whacked within like 20 minutes, right? I call them the whipsaw days. And we kind of saw that a few weeks ago when Bitcoin was going up like a couple K and down a couple K. That's usually indicative that Bitcoin's about to make a big move. And then all of a sudden, here comes Germany out of nowhere. Oh, we're going to sell our Bitcoin. Yeah, great. Awesome. We fucking love you, fucker.
Dump and then suppress the price.
Yeah, and it was just very convenient that it happened, right when Bitcoin's trying to make these leaps and bounds. I personally think it's, Larry calling the German government, but, that's just me speculating as per usual. But yeah, so again, I think we're about to see some big leaps because we haven't hit 100K. I think we're about to hit those numbers. And then don't be surprised, people have their order set for like probably 99,999. Right? There's literally probably hundreds of thousands of people with orders set like that, just waiting for it to trigger and, for them to think they made all this money. And then once it goes back down, I think, the sky's the limit, right? It could be 1 million, 6 million. I don't know, because after this weekend, all of these clips will now be slowly disseminated across the social media across the globe. And, it takes a couple days, but Trump has a lot of fans, right? And these statements were big statements. He did say America needs the hodl, right? That's a big deal. That's, no other candidate.
Yeah, I think the mainstream media, financial publications and institutions, starting like Monday, obviously some of them on their websites made some references to it, but I think the talking pundits on the shows like Kramer, CNBC, Fox Business, Charles Payne, etc., all of them are going to be jumping on all these sound bites and all these clips from the weekend and using it. And yeah, you're right. It's gonna trickle out here over the next couple days and weeks, and maybe that does help with the price action, like you're saying, in the first part of August. But it seems that there's just so much bullish sentiment coming out. I think that a lot of people, perhaps, maybe, and we're just too close to it because we're in the space. A lot of people are wanting instantaneous results, and 9 times out of 10, it's slowly and then suddenly, right? So again, with this, it's still happening. Zoom out, look at the big picture. But we're not just because they said it on Saturday. We don't, I think people are expecting 100K like on today. Like, oh, a day later, like it's not going to go to 100K the next day, guys.
No, it's just like the ETH ETF, right? It opens up, it sucks up a ton of money. What happens? ETH dumps on Friday, right? And why is it? Because again, there's market makers sitting out there with tons of ETH that want to dump some ETH, and they have their orders set at whatever it was, 33.99 or 33.50, whatever number it tanked and dropped from. But that's just how it is. These market makers set their orders. The number hits, the order triggers, it sells, and they're a whale, right? They're not selling like 10 ETH, they're selling 10K of ETH, right? And you have enough of those orders trigger at that number. And of course, we're going to see a cascade event. But don't be surprised, after the ETH ETFs have been open for a month or two, we're going to see ETH hit 4K again, 4,500, 5K, and it's going to happen. It's money's flowing into the asset. This is how it is, y'all. I mean, to me, I'm living in a border almost fantasy land, because I've talked about these things for years, and to actually see presidential candidates and senators say we need to have Bitcoin on the books.
I know, dude. It's like we've been saying this for so long, and we were crazy. I remember the times when people were saying, "Oh, the government's going to ban Bitcoin. It's a Ponzi scheme." Man, yeah. My uncle's a Nobel Prize winning economist. I know more than you do.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. You have a small penis too. You look like a turtle. Whatever. What movie was that from? That was a line in a movie. What movie was that?
I don't know, but it was great.
I want to say it was like the movie Gremlins or something. Remember that movie from the 80s, Gremlins? I think he said that in that movie.
That's again,
Gizmo.
Spielberg.
Yeah.
Early Spielberg. Great. But definitely, dude, we're in a new era of Bitcoin and crypto. This is, again, I can't believe that the ETH ETF even got passed, because I thought that Gary was going to put the kibosh on that. And the fact that it did just shows you that his standing, he's standing on shaky ground.
He already said he's out. He already said that he plans to leave in January.
Oh, good. Thank God.
Yeah, I think he already said, like, yeah, I'm gonna peace out on y'all. The other thing that's pumping as a result, I think more so, that kind of got my eye, is Solana. I mean, Solana is pumping even as we speak right now at this moment. It looks like it's on a bit of a tear, flirting with 200. And I think that's, again, all on speculation of Solana ETFs.
Correct. 100%.
We're all
yeah.
thinking.
Sorry. It's definitely, again, the Solana ETF rumors. I mean, again, the Ethereum ETF, Solana ETFs, we have to legitimize the underlying assets. If you're going to make USDC and USDT legal tender under the US of A, right? It's probably going to be just USDC at first. But you have to make markets for them, right? So Solana has to become an ETF, Ethereum has to become an ETF, and then eventually they build bond markets, I guess, on Ethereum and Solana. That's what it looks like they're going to do. That's my theory.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, the president, the ratings for people and their levels of Bitcoin understanding. Yeah, I did see that. That was pretty funny. I think I shared it. I'm not sure if I did. But yeah, I think most of that is accurate. I think I might move Ted Cruz up to like a B level, just because I think he has a couple ASICs running.
He's mining.
Yeah, if you're mining, you're not a C tier Bitcoiner. If you know what mining is or know how to do it, or done it with any crypto, you are way above the B level. You're probably with Senator Lummis level. But that's just my take on that. But yeah, that great show. I think has it been an hour? I think we've been about an hour.
Yep. So I got to get my charger because my battery's about to die on my laptop.
Understood.
And then I gotta go do the live radio remote today too. All weekend I've been traveling on the road, doing these live remotes for the radio station I work for. So
Fun times. Where? Oh yeah,
pray
you're
for
heading.
me.
You're heading south of Seattle. What's the name of the town you're going to be in?
We will be. Today is just outside of Olympia.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Well, go check out MattySats if you're in Olympia. But we want to thank all of our sponsors: Quantum Economics, QntmExpeditions. Again, the swag boxes are going out if you did invest in the QntmExpeditions. Also, we want to thank the team at Bitcoin Live, Nick, and everyone that has a show. Thank you for participating and putting out the great info. I had fun yesterday on the group chat we did. I think there's going to be another one of those coming next month. And yeah, don't forget Shield Folio. We also have the discount code up there for 20% off. Use that, take full advantage. And again, as MattySats always says, stack sats, stay safe, hodl.